Hi everyone, this is Douglas at PCC. This video shows the sexual orientation and gender identity features in the patient's chart in PCC EHR. When I open Matilda's chart and see their medical summary, at the bottom I have 3 confidential components. My practice decided these would be here on the medical summary. Your practice could add them in many other places in PCC EHR, on demographics, on chart note protocols, wherever you need them for your workflow. Now, these components are special in that you've got to click a disclosure arrow to view the contents. And when I do that, my access to the component is logged and can be reviewed later. Sexual orientation is a simple component. You can select from a standardized list and add a note. This information does not show up in any reporting or external facing part of the patient's record, just in this component. Gender identity has additional options. Now, when I open this component for this patient, I see that he identifies as male, he has a preferred name, and he has shared his pronoun. This information is here in the gender identity component. It's separate from a patient's legal demographics. If a patient changed their name, you'd just change that in demographics. Now, I can see this information is private. So in this case, Matt has confided in a clinician and shared this information, but he doesn't want your front desk to say, "Hi, Matt," when he walks in the front door. The information is private, so it will only appear here in this component. Now, your practice might use a patient flag or a reminders note to remind a clinician to review this confidential component for a patient. Now, during the course of a visit, Matt might share that this information is now public. He'd like to be addressed as Matt by everyone, and he would expect you to use he, him, his pronouns when referring to him. Okay. Public. I'll note that each of these fields is optional. Matt might just want to go by Matt. He might not have specified a gender identity or a pronoun. In this case, he's indicated all 3. So I've set this to public. Once I save Matt's chart, you'll notice the patient banner up here at the top now includes his preferred name and a reminder of his pronouns, along with his legal name and sex. The patient banner is visible whenever the patient's chart is open, and if you click on a patient banner, you get more detailed information. When your practice is scheduling an appointment for this patient, let's open up the appointment book. Again, they'll see that patient banner, a mini version of the patient banner right here. I'll mention it's really handy to see that pronoun when you're talking to a parent at the front desk. The name is also back here on the schedule, and it shows up in Pocket PCC as well. Now, Matt's legal name and sex are still relevant for lots of reasons, both clinical and for just billing or for an insurance claim. So if I search for Matt's legal name up here in the search box, of course, PCC EHR is still going to find the patient. Now, there's one other place that a version of the patient banner shows up. When you generate certain patient-facing output, I'll pull up a screenshot of the patient visit summary as an example. An outward-facing version of that same patient banner shows up at the top. It's right here in green at the top. The preferred name can appear there. Sometimes these printouts are used in different ways, so the patient's legal name and sex will often appear as well. Okay, last note. Your practice can control and configure how PCC EHR handles gender identity and sexual orientation. As I mentioned, you've got complete control of where these confidential components appear. Now, you move them around using the protocol configuration tool. Add them where you will use them. And here, under Practice Preferences, you can pick what the patient banner will display. So the default is what I've been showing you, both the preferred name and the legal name in parentheses, but you can switch to only legal or only preferred. And you can show or hide the patient's pronoun from PCC EHR. As your practice implements these features in the patient's chart, feel free to get in touch with PCC support. If you haven't edited a chart note protocol in a while, or you want help reviewing your configuration, naturally, we've got a complete guide at learn.pcc.com as well. Thanks for watching.